everyone I talked to today before the game was like, he wants to play. He is motivated to play. He wants to play because he hates missing games.
Yeah.
He wants to play in the All-Star game. Like, he is fired up. He wants to win games. So Sabonis is going to do everything he can to play. The question with that, though, Morgan, is that the right call? What kind of damage could be done if Sabonis comes back and he's not, if he's not 80%, 70%? And can he get back to where he needs to be or where the Kings need him to be while playing? Those are all big questions, I think, just when you look at the season as a whole for a team that's trying to make the playoffs, trying to end this drought. Those are big questions that I guess we just can't answer at this point. It's just a lot of what ifs at this moment.
A fun Willsy stat of the night, because it's about Sabonis and his ability to stay healthy and stay in games. Sabonis is one of only 43 players who has played in every game so far this season. He played 1,141.1 total minutes of the possible 1,493 minutes. So he's a guy that can play through things, right? Whether it's he's had little bumps and bruises that he's battled through because he's a big in this league, and you're going to take that night in and night out. But now you're talking more of something that could be that lingering injury, right? A ligament. Those are annoying. Ligaments torn or screwed with anywhere on your body are annoying as hell. What people have this day and age when it comes to cortisone shots or certain muscle things that can help your body, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but It's going to be one of those things where it's a pain tolerance thing. He can deal with it however he needs to deal with it. But it's the same way that when we saw De'Aaron Fox out there, when he wasn't playing at 100% health, it was like, whoa, sit him out. I hope we don't have to get there with Domas Sabonis.
And I think whenever he decides to test it out, maybe tomorrow against Denver before the game, he did not go through practice the day before. He didn't go through shoot around this morning. He was at the game tonight. But, there's obviously, when you have that thumb injury that he has with the ligament, it is his right hand, which is good news.
Offhand.
His offhand, if there's some good news there.
Woo.
He does go for rebounds with both hands, right?
Two hands.
That's tough. When he wants to push the ball up court, that could be a challenge. The other thing is, this is the NBA, Morgan. We know damn well when you got a little hand thing, the guy gets beat up as it is. Mm-hmm. Teams are going to target that. They're going to be swiping down on that thumb. And so he has to be at a point where you're right, what you just said. How is his pain tolerance? Now, Keegan Murray has a thumb thing going on too. And if you look back, that he mentioned, he was asked about today by James Ham, and he really did not want to go into detail about it at all. But he said it happened in the Cleveland game. He was questionable going into the Knicks game on that last road trip. And since then, his right hand has been wrapped. So I'm very curious to see what Sabonis' hand looks like compared to that. Is it wrapped similar? They're going through similar things, right? Keegan's able to play. Keegan also doesn't get the same type of attention that Sabonis gets throughout a game. So I think that's kind of the lingering thing is, one, if he's able to play, how effective can he be? And two, if he can't play, are the Kings capable of just kind of hovering around this 500 mark until he is back and ready to go? This is my biggest point with Sabonis right now. And I put a poll question up from the chat. I said, should Sabonis try to play? The options, no, get that thumb better. And yes, if he can fight through it. 74% of the people who have voted say, no, go get that thumb better.
I'm with it.
What if that meant missing 6 weeks?
I'm with it.
4 weeks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Expose the truth of what needs to change with your roster, with your depth, and make it all happen.
Here's what I would say.
What?
If he can play and it doesn't impact, like if it hurts, but he's still able to go out there and give you, 18, 12, and 7, play.
Yeah.
But if it's limiting you, if you feel like you can't impact the game the same way, go get right. And I know that the fear for that for fans would be, a month without Sabonis, your season's over. I would say no, it's not. I would say
Look at tonight's game.
you need to find. It's going to be challenging,
Yeah.
and you're probably not going to win a ton. But what you need to do is just hang around that 500 mark, right? And get him right. I know that's hard. Right now, they're 2 games over at 17 and 15. But when I say hang around, you may tip below 500. You may. But you need to understand that what the West is right now. And as a point that Denver is the number 1 seed, well, the Kings are the 7th seed right now. They're 32 games in. They're the 7th seed. They're a half game behind Dallas for 6. They're 1.5 behind the Suns for 5. There's 2 games behind the Clippers for 4. They're 2.5 behind the Memphis Grizzlies for number 3. My point is, it's all bunched up. Look behind them. Portland's right there. Utah, Golden State. You're going to have a shot as long as you don't completely fall apart without him. If if he can give it a go and be productive, play. If not, go sit out.
This is what
Get healthy.
You would hope for a team like the Sacramento Kings, is that they are starting to build, in which I believe we have been seeing, that foundation of not only the good culture and everything, but also what they want to achieve as a basketball team. You know, it's not about the individuals and they come and go and this is what the team looks like. I mean, we've seen so many teams around the NBA be able to hold their own without their star players at times throughout a season, because the season's long and their star players get injured. And that's what you want to start seeing from the Sacramento Kings. When is that going to happen? Hopefully it happens sooner than later.
So I know this guy on social media named In Street Clothes who covers, his name is Jeff Stotts, but it's at In Street Clothes on Twitter. He goes over all the injury stuff with players in the league. Does a really great job of that. He did break down kind of what he thinks about the Sabonis injury and goes over some detail, but he went over a couple of things, including kind of the time missed when something like this happens based on other guys. He says time lost to these type of injuries is often linked to the severity of the concurrent ligament damage, not necessarily the bone damage. UCL tears have been detailed multiple times on this website when players like Bam Adebayo and Chris Paul have sustained the injury and undergone surgery. The average time lost in season for UCL repair, so after surgery, is 25 games, 55 days.
Whoa.
So that's a chunk. Now that's if you have surgery. He says, unfortunately, the degree of Sabonis' sprain has not been made public. For now, Sabonis will attempt to play through the pain. Avery Bradley suffered that same fracture and UCL sprain during the 2015 season and did not miss a game. He says the Kings medical staff will attempt to tape and brace the area when Sabonis takes the court, and it is likely he will wear a brace in between games. Surgery could still be an option if the ligament damage was substantial, but for now, it seems like Sabonis will continue to suit up for the Kings.
Great work.
Yeah.
By Jeff Stotts. Wow.
I was laughing reading Kings Reddit because they were joking about people going on WebMD. And someone goes, I think Sabonis has rectum cancer.
Yes.
Based on my WebMD research, something like that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Not all injuries are the same. So,
and not all bodies are the same. Like some people's pain tolerance with ligaments are like nothing, and others are like there. If this happened to Anthony Davis, and I'm not shitting on him, we know. Stop it.
You are shitting on him.
No, I'm not. Dude, see, and I knew that was going to come up. We know his reputation.
How about this? Don't even mention Anthony Davis. How about you just mention that Sabonis is known as being one of the tougher players in the league?
Correct. There we go.
The guy gets punched in the face on average 3.5 times per game.
Correct. That's a true stat.
I think.
Yep.
He's tough.
He's tough.
I think he'll try to give it a go.